Hello, everyone. So, welcome back. It's been a long while. Okay, welcome back to this video. This video is just a short video where I'll show you 4 advanced SQL query for a data analyst. Now, this is subjective. So some it could be an advanced SQL query, and for others it may not be. But the fact is that for a beginner, this is an advanced SQL query for him or her. But someone that is already using SQL for a long period of time may not see it as advanced SQL query. But nevertheless, let's just get down to the video. Now, I normally use my PG2, Cycle PG2 as the library. Now, you can also do this on your PG admin, but I prefer using this in Jupyter Notebook. I think it's a lot faster for me than using PG2 sometimes. So, okay, let me run that. Then you now have to put your database parameters like your database name, the user, and the password. I just use password as usual again. I'll run that. Okay, I create a connection, very important, and also create a cursor because those will be using. Now the first query is we should rank the countries. Now this data set I'm using, I've already done a video on it. In my I think it's in SQL project. I don't remember the particular number, but it's one of my SQL projects. I used this data, so I'll not be going through the data again. You can check the video out. I'll paste the link in the description so you can go to the video and also check out the data sets. So I'll just continue on. Now over here, this is the first question. You should rank the countries based on the total number of Facebook users for each date. Now this each date. Okay, first of all, in this query we have to use a CTE, which is a common table expression, or I normally call it a mini table. That's what I call. That's objective to me. Not. You could also call it. You should, or you may not call it. Okay, then we normally use the width. I will give you the name as. Then we now have to select our date of data, our countries, then our sum of users as total users. Remember, we're getting rank the country based on the total number of users. So that's why we have these users. Okay, for each date. Now we'll have to rank. Now create a rank. Remember, we are working with rank. Is it rank the countries? Now we'll rank over the partition, which is we have to arrange it based on the date of data, because we're ranking the countries based on the total number of users for each date. So we have to for each date we have to we have to separate them for each date. That is why whenever I see each, most of the time what should come to your mind, I said it in one of my videos, what should come to mind is groupings. So we have to now group it. That's why I have to partition it by that. You see it? We have to group it by that. Now while we are using this rank is is an advanced SQL query. Is what we call window expression. Sorry, we have the rank. We have other like rank. I think row number. Yeah, we also have all those. But in this situation, we have to just use the rank. Then we now have to separate them off because we're doing it for each date. So we now have to partition it by the date of the data. Then we now have to order it by the users. Remember, based on the total number, which means that the highest one or the highest countries with the highest number of Facebook user will be at the top. That's why we have to order it by the sum of users, and we should put it in a descending order. Now when it's descending order, it simply means that the highest is at the top while the lowest is at the bottom. So we have to now put it in descending order instead of ascending, but the default is ascending. Then we have to put it as country rank. So no matter this is a list, this is an A list. We also have to now put it as a country rank. Now from our table, which is Facebook users, they will now have to group by the date of data and the countries. Now, sometimes when you're using this rank Windows expression, like for example, you're using this row number, sometimes you may not use this group by, but we'll explain that in later videos. But for now, let's just leave it this way. Then we now have to select the date of data, the countries, the total users, and the country rank from this mini table which we just created now. As I said, they rank countries, and they have to now order by the date of data and the country rank, which means that the country with the highest rank will be at the top again, and the lowest rank at the bottom. So if we now run that, execute it, then let's run this to see our result. Now, of course, United States is at the top because it has the total number of users and their ranking was first. Brazil second, total number of users, and the ranking was second. And all down Turkey, Germany, Argentina throughout. Okay, let's now go to the second query. Now we should detect outliers. Now, outliers is something in statistics which you should also know as a data analyst, because sometimes, like I saw a Facebook post, someone was saying if you don't know statistics, it will be hard for you. To be data analyst will be a little bit difficult for you. I think that is true a little bit, because sometimes most of the things we use in data analysis is statistics. It's pure statistics. So the outliers is just like you having a group of data sets, then we now have a particular value that is extremely far, understand, from others. When you have such value, that value is called an outlier. When you're having a group of numbers or values, and they're closer to each other, there's no outlier. But once one of them is far, like let me say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then you now have 50. That 50 is an outlier, and it's a very huge outlier. So now we should now detect such outlier in the population column for each country using a statistical method. Now we have to also use a. Now this common table expression is a very important tool in SQL, either PostgreSQL or MySQL. So it's very, very important to familiarize yourself with this common table expression, because you'll be using it more often. So it's very important to familiarize yourself with it. Now we are using the z-score. Now this is a statistical term, the z-score. I will not be going into details. You can I'll make future videos on it. Z-score. Okay, yeah, we say with the population z-score, as we now have to select the country, the date of the data, the population. Now we now have to calculate this z-score we're talking about so far. Now the z-score is this. This is the formula for it. It's population minus the average population. Is it over the partition? We now have to divide them by what? The countries. Sorry, not divide. Sorry. This partition is trying to group them by the countries. Understand? Then all these like this. Remember, population minus what the average population. What this thing is saying is here is that the partition by what countries. If you find it, sorry, what is saying here is population minus the average population based on the countries, based on what each country. Remember, that's why I have partitioned it by the country. Based on each country, we should calculate the population minus the average population based on each country. That's why I have the over partition by country. Then we should not divide it based on each country, which is the population minus the average population based on each country, divided by the standard deviation of the population based on each country again. So that's the formula for the z-score. In the actual sense, it's just the population minus the average population divided by the standard deviation of the population. So that's what it's just saying in total. This is just the reason why I was adding for each country, so that it will not actually just go to the table and just get the population minus the average population divided by the standard deviation of any country is fine, or it may try to do it for a particular country. So that's why we condition it to do it for each country. Now for the Facebook users, we now have to select the country, the date of data, the population, the z-score itself from the population with z-score, then where the absolute of the z-score is greater than 10. The absolute value of the z-score is greater than 10. Of course, I think in this query it was an empty query, sure. It was an empty query because the condition was not met. But at the end of the day, I just showed you how you can detect outliers using this z-score. That's why they say you could use other methods apart from z-score, but I just use this score in this. So it's up to you. You could also use what other methods. That's why sometimes it's very important to learn statistics. This is the reason I say you should learn statistics. Even I myself, in as much as I'm at this stage, I'm still learning. So everyone is learning, because I didn't have a solid background on statistics, but at least I'm good at maths. But statistics, I didn't have a solid background. So all of us are still learning at the end of the day. So the next query is to identify countries that experience a sudden drop in population, defined as a certain percentage decrease over what a specific period. Now we have to now select the country. Now we have to now get the minimum date of data, the maximum date of data. This minimum will be the start year, maximum will be the end year, the minimum population, which is the initial population, and the maximum population, which is the final population. Now the reason for this is we are trying to identify the countries that experience a sudden drop. Now for us to get the drop in population or drop for any particular thing, we have to know the initial one and the final one. You understand? And remember, the reason why we have to have the start year and the end year, because it should define it as a certain population decrease over a specific period. That's why having the start year and the end year. So after doing that, then we now have to now get the percentage change, which is what the sudden drop in population, defined as a certain percentage. That's why we're having a percentage change. Now I have to now get the max population minus the minimum population, which is the, let me just say, the final population minus the initial population divided by the initial population times 100. So this gives us the percentage change in population digit. Remember, this was identified a country that experiences a sudden drop. This sudden drop can also represent this percentage change, because we say we should define this sudden drop as certain percentage decrease. You see it? So sometimes in questions, sometimes some questions can be very twisting. Like if you don't think critically, you cannot understand it. So okay, from the table again, I should group by the countries, because I'm trying to identify the countries, each countries. That's what should be grouped them by the countries. Then having is just like using it when you're using grouping and you want to add an extra condition. We now have to say, okay, having that the maximum population, which is the final population minus the initial population, divided by the initial population times 100 is less than minus 10. Sorry. So once this condition is less than minus 10, then this query will execute. If it's not, it will not execute. That's why over here none of them was like that. That's why we have an empty query. Now having an empty query is not a fact that you did not do your job right. Sometimes you need to get an empty query if what you're looking for is not there in the table. You get an empty query. So now the next one is which is the final one. You should find the countries where percentage of Facebook users is significantly higher than the average percentage across all countries for the specific date. Now we have to also use a common table expression as usual. You should select the date of data, then the average Facebook user in percentage. And you should get the average, because there's a column. That's why I say you should watch the previous video. There's a column called Facebook users in percentage. So you should not get, and that's you should not get the average of that from our table, and should group by what date of data. And remember, they say we should find the countries where the percentage of Facebook is significantly higher than the average across all countries. Like, we first of all get the average. Now, if you are doing this as a math question, now, although it's not a math question, I want to just explain something for you, how you can tackle SQL queries. Now, it shows you find the countries where the percentage of Facebook is significantly higher than the average percentage across all countries for a specific date. Now, first of all, you should get the average percentage across all countries for a specific date. Then you now have to get the percentage of Facebook that is higher than that average which you have gotten already. So this is the average of that. Then over here, we now have to select the countries, the dates, the users, percentage, and the population. Now, why we are using F here is that we are using the same table, but we have to join that same table. You don't understand? Okay, let me just go further to explain it. Now, from the Facebook users F, so then you should now join the average percentage, which is this. Join the average percentage AP on F this equals to what? AP dot this. Now this table, we are using the same table, and we're trying now. When you're using the same table and you're trying to perform a join, you can use this, which is what? F and AP, to tell SQL query to join the same table, to make the table to act as two different tables, so that you're able to join them. Now, because when you're dealing with join, you're dealing with two tables, but when you're using a single table to do the join, you have to define this, or this, as you see it. So AP dot this. So you should not join them. You should not join these two tables. When you should join these two, when you are joining two tables together, you are joining them in a particular column. So you should join this on the same column and this on the same column, which is you are still dealing with the same table. So when f dot Facebook users percentage is greater than this, so run that again. Of course, having United States, Indonesia, and others. So these are the countries where there's where there was percentage of Facebook users significantly higher than the average. So you should also close your connection. So at the end of the day, whenever you are dealing with SQL or as a data analyst in general, you should make sure you are good at statistics. Is very, very important. Make sure you're good at statistics. That's my advice for anyone starting data analysis. Make sure you're good at statistics. So this will be the end of the video. Thank you all and goodbye.